Want to speak English with confidence? You're in the right place. Easy Survival English.
I stood at the bank counter, needed to open an account, and when the clerk asked me a simple question, I just said yes to everything, even things I did not understand. I accidentally signed up for a credit card I never wanted.
That is exactly why this episode exists. Today, we fix that completely.
Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about going to the bank in English.
And we are giving you the exact phrases right now. Let's get straight into it.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Daniel. Today's episode is a practical one. Banking English, phrase by phrase.
Exactly. Let's start immediately with the most important phrase you need. The very first phrase you need is, I would like to open an account, please.
This is exactly what you say the moment you walk up to the counter for a new account. For example,
Hi, I would like to open a savings account, please.
the clerk will usually ask, is this a savings account or a checking account?
A savings account is for keeping money and earning a little interest. A checking account, or in British English, a current account, is for everyday spending. For example, I would like a current account, please, for everyday transactions. The next essential phrase is, could you tell me what documents I need? Banks always need identification. This phrase gets you the exact list immediately. For example, could you tell me what documents I need to open an account? They will usually say something like, we need your passport and proof of address. Proof of address means a document showing where you live. A utility bill or rental contract usually works.
Now, the phrase that would have saved me from my credit card disaster, could you explain that to me, please? I want to make sure I understand before I agree.
This one phrase alone prevents so many problems. Never say yes to something in a bank you do not fully understand.
For example, the clerk says something quickly about fees or a card offer. You simply say, could you explain that to me, please? I want to make sure I understand before I agree.
Completely acceptable, and honestly, expected. Bank staff explain things constantly. You asking again costs nothing.
3 phrases already. I would like to open an account. Could you tell me what documents I need? And could you explain that to me, please?
Already enough to survive your first bank visit with confidence.
Emma, have you had to open a bank account in a different country?
Yes, actually. When I moved abroad for work, and it was more confusing than I expected.
What confused you the most?
Honestly, all the vocabulary around cards. Debit card, credit card, overdraft. Words I knew separately, but never together in this context.
Let's clarify those now. A debit card takes money directly from your account. You can only spend what you actually have.
A credit card lets you borrow money up to a limit, which you pay back later, usually with interest if you do not pay in full.
And an overdraft is when the bank allows your account to go below zero, temporarily, usually with a fee attached.
Understanding these differences before agreeing to anything is essential. This is exactly where my credit card mistake happened.
We will get to that story soon. But first, let's cover common banking situations beyond opening an account. What if your card stops working or gets lost? Very useful phrase. I would like to report a lost card, please. Or, my card has been stolen. I need to cancel it immediately.
Banks take this very seriously and will act quickly once you say this clearly.
What about checking your balance or a recent transaction?
Could you tell me my current balance, please? Or, I don't recognize this transaction. Could you help me understand it?
That second phrase is incredibly useful if you ever see a charge you do not remember making.
Absolutely essential for catching mistakes or even fraud early.
What if you need to transfer money to someone?
I would like to make a transfer, please, and they will usually ask for the recipient's account details.
What about setting up things like a mortgage or a loan, more serious banking situations?
I would like to speak to someone about a loan, please. This gets you moved to a specialist who handles bigger financial products.
Very important phrase for anyone considering a car loan, a mortgage, or a business loan.
Now let's cover a very useful grammar point for banking conversations. We often use conditional sentences. If I do this, what happens?
For example, if I withdraw more than my balance, what happens? Or if I miss a payment, what are the fees?
This structure helps you understand consequences before agreeing to anything.
Extremely useful, especially with credit cards and loans where fees can be confusing.
Speaking of confusing credit card situations.
Yes, I believe it's time.
Okay, Daniel, tell us about the credit card you never wanted.
So, this was my very first time opening an account abroad. I was nervous and honestly overwhelmed by all the vocabulary. Understandable for a first bank visit in a new language. The clerk was very friendly, spoke quickly, and at some point asked something like, "Would you like to add our premium card benefits package to your account today?"
Did you understand what that meant?
Not even a little. But I panicked and just said yes to keep things moving smoothly.
The classic nod and agree mistake.
Exactly that mistake. A month later, I noticed an unfamiliar monthly fee on my statement.
What was it?
I had accidentally signed up for a credit card with an annual fee, which I never actually needed or used.
What did you do?
I went back to the bank and said, "I don't recognize this transaction. Could you help me understand it?" Exactly the phrase we just taught.
And it worked?
The clerk explained everything clearly, and once I understood, I said, "I would like to cancel this, please. I did not fully understand what I was agreeing to."
Did they cancel it?
Yes, completely, with no issues, since it had only been active a short time.
What is the lesson here?
Never say yes in a bank just to avoid an awkward silence. That single phrase, "Could you explain that, please?" costs nothing and saves you from real financial mistakes.
Such an important reminder, especially for banking, where misunderstandings actually cost money. Let's recap the essential phrases. I would like to open an account, please. Could you tell me what documents I need? Could you explain that to me, please? Plus debit versus credit versus overdraft, reporting a lost card, checking your balance, and making a transfer.
Everyone, have you ever had a confusing banking experience in English? Tell us in the comments.
We read every comment, and your stories help us make better episodes.
If this episode helped you, please like it and subscribe for a new episode every week.
In our next episode, we are talking about renting a car in English, booking, insurance questions, and what to do if something goes wrong.
Subscribe now so you do not miss episode 20.
Take care, everyone, and never be afraid to ask a bank to explain something twice. Bye, everyone.